My name is Trevor Sthultz. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I grew up in Texas. Went to Texas Tech University, graduated in 1999. My older brother went to the Air Force Academy, and I saw that it was a great opportunity. I went the ROTC route. So I commissioned in 1999 into the Air Force, was active duty, and I spent my time in aircraft maintenance and acquisitions. And in early 2008, I made the decision to leave active duty and join the Air Force Reserves. Like I said, I'm currently in the reserves. I'm a lieutenant commander, squadron commander. I drill out of Niagara Falls Air Station. I just returned from a deployment. I was overseas in a location in Southwest Asia for the past 6 months, and it's good to be back. I knew from a very young age that I was a gay man. I remember signing the document, reading and signing the homosexual policy at that time. It was August 1996. I was comfortable with myself, but I also understood the regulations and laws at that time. You couldn't openly engage or act in a homosexual manner. Now, unfortunately, I knew several people that by no fault of their own, emails to loved ones back home, the emails were later read and they were reported. And it didn't take much at all, even just a rumor, and someone could easily say whatever they wanted to say, and that would open an investigation. It's so ingrained, you're so used to talking in third person and removing the gender specific and not having pictures on your desk as others might have. So I have over 17 years of military service now, and Travis has been with me for over 14 of those 17 years. And we met when I was a first lieutenant. He helped pin down my captain bar, so he's been that rock, that comfort zone that allowed me to be me. We met at a bar called Havana. It was located here in the short north. We met August 31st, 2002. We are complete opposites. Travis followed the Grateful Dead and went to rainbow gatherings, and we joke, he sold grilled cheese sandwiches to make his way across Colorado and the great frontier, and then while he's doing that, here I am in military training and marching and just opposite beings as can be. Where I went, it was a heavy flying mission, so we were actively engaged in Operation Inherent Resolve and Operation Freedom Sentinel. And so our tasking was to provide the means, airlift, and associated weapons to combat the bad guys. Some days just were almost unbearable, grueling tempo, cadence-wise and temperature-wise, and being away from family and loved ones. But you do your duty and you get through it. And the deployment went very well. And a common question I get when I come back was, how did your time go? And I always say, well, in hindsight, it went amazingly fast. But in the midst of it, sometimes those days are pretty long days. Part of our tasking on the C-130s, it's a airlift mission, cargo and personnel, to where at any time, and it happened several times while we were over there, to, on a moment's notice, be alerted and take off and go where they need you to go and do what they need you to do. Planes go down range, which we did all the time, and if a plane breaks at that location, we send out what's called an MRT, a maintenance recovery team. And sometimes they're in friendly locations, and sometimes they were in not very friendly locations, so time is of the essence, and there were a couple of times where they were in some dangerous zones. I took the day off from work to make sure and watch the congressional vote on donor stent tail. I remember when the vote was passed, just a feeling of relief, that now, we can be ourselves, and it's hard to describe, and it's immensely important. It was a cathartic event. It's very emotional. Fast forward 20 years later, in a deployed location, and very proud to wear my wedding band. And I was meeting a meet and greet with my senior officer, full bird colonel, and I'm leaving his office, and he stops and he says, "Trevor, what's your wife's name?" And I looked at him, and I mentioned this because I'm very proud, and without hesitation, I said, "Travis." And he looked at me, and I'll never forget the befuddlement on his face, and he asked me, he goes, "Your wife's name is Travis?" And I said, "My husband." And he's like, "Oh," and it hit him. He was like, "Yes." And so just that simple example and such a innocuous question about your wife's name. As where before, I may have been hesitant to wear my wedding band, or I may have been hesitant or would have danced around the question out of fear for my career. But now in today's landscape, we're open and free and applauded to be able to do so. My full-time employment is with American Electric Power. I joined them in December of '07. And I helped co-found and was co-chair for 3 years of the Military and Veterans Employee Resource Group. And part of that effort is to help support and advocate the hiring of veterans around the Central Ohio region. And AEP is a wonderful company, and they've always been very supportive of the active military, the veterans, the military spouses, just anyone who wants to support the military. And they've really been staunch supporters of the military, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm a member of the Pride Employee Resource Group, and the co-chairs of the Pride ERG are Suzanne Snyder and Sean Parker. And the ERGs really serve as a catalyst to help bring change. It's also top down from the executive level, and our CEO and chairman of the board is Nick Akins, and he has been an absolute advocate and strong supporter of not just the military, but the LGBT rights. It's really is a wonderful company, and they've made tremendous strides in bringing change to the Columbus area, and it's to continue to do great things. Travis and I are Pride leaders for United Way, and so we give our annual donation and we dedicate that towards Kaleidoscope every year. If you can bring positive impact to a young member of the society, you bring tremendous potential for change in a positive direction. I would tell the LGBTQ youth that if you believe the military is a career you would want to pursue, it's not easy by any means, but if you want to be in the military, you are legally and openly accepted and allowed. If you want to do it, it's a great option. It's been a great career, and the door is open. Thank you to my husband, Travis Pfister, for nominating me for the Stonewall Award. I am extremely honored and humbled to be considered and to be chosen. I feel truly privileged to accept the award, and just a thank you and a love you to my husband. You know, he's been by my side for over 14 years now. And we have a wonderful life together, and I feel very honored.